Welcome to episode 8 of The Life of a TV Addict. It's been 8 weeks of our TV addiction. I'm Sasha. I have my friend here,
Notorious FPG.
And we're going to give you our week in TV.
Yeah.
So you want to start off?
We can start off. Last week we were talking about This Is Us and why their ending didn't make sense, knowing that they were being renewed. So I did a little research, and I got a big list of shows that have been canceled.
Oh my God.
They may not have received the axe officially, but some of them have not ordered new episodes past the original 13 that was taped, which is usually you're not coming back either.
All right, so let's go through
So let's start off. I'm going to give you some. You tell me whether you were ever watching these shows.
Okay.
Masters of Sex on Showtime?
Think I'm a master in sex. I don't need anybody to help me with that. So that's why I was never in.
Masters and Johnson, that was what the whole show was about. I thought it was really good, but the way they ended, I could see it not coming back because it ended with the two main characters getting married. And you kind of know that they do more sex research and do all of that. So It was more about the personal life. So I could see it ending. Duck Dynasty. Just for the people who may watch Duck Dynasty. We don't know.
You know what? Let me tell you. I hated on those fuckers. You know why? Because these people made so much fucking money from the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it was blowing up, and at the time I was in school, so I wasn't really watching a lot of nonsense TV. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what the fuck do they do? Do they shoot ducks? They sell ducks? They're like, no, they make these whistles.
The duck calls. Yep.
Get the fuck out of here. So I'm happy for them.
So it's in season, they're going to do season 11, and that's it. They're not coming back.
Get the fuck out of here.
Conviction, did you ever see that? Mm-hmm. That was with the one from Agent Carter. It was about overturning convictions of people that were wrongly put in jail.
Is it with the young girl and she was heading up this law program?
Right.
And they only
it was
got
on
one
ABC.
Season.
Yeah.
One season. Yeah, that shit was whack.
They did 13 episodes and it said no more have been ordered, so it's probably not coming back.
You know what the problem was with that show is that they had good stories as far as the cases, but they brought so much of her personal life in.
Right.
Nobody cares.
It wasn't about that anymore.
Yeah, nobody fucking cares.
I got you.
Ugh. Okay, so far I'm not missing any of this shit.
Workaholics on Comedy Central. Did you ever watch that?
Nope, never even heard of it. So
The Nick on Cinemax.
Now that's your show you talked about.
That's my show. I almost shed a tear when that slide went past. I almost shed a tear. I mean, they're done. They're not even going to do a closing season. Nothing. It's a wrap.
You know what? Let me say this. I hate when they do that with TV because I used to watch this, was it called The Cape or something? He was just, and they literally cut this shit in the middle of the season and was like, that's it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I got questions. And they like, well, y'all can go online and go figure that shit out. Because so many people kept saying, like, what happened? We want it. And then they put it online and you had to go there. But I hate when they do that. Fucking with our feelings.
So literally, you've only had 2 episodes of this show. And it's already been canceled. Doubt with Laverne Cox. Did you ever watch?
Oh, no. That's the show I meant. Last week when I said they canceled till right after, is that they, oh my God, what was the girl name from Grey's Anatomy? I hated this bitch. She was on the show.
Oh, I never.
Izzy.
Oh, okay. I don't even know who she was in real life.
I can't remember her name, but she was such a bitch.
But so Laverne wasn't a primary character. She wasn't the lead.
Well, she was on it. She wasn't the lead.
Okay.
No, the show was about Izzy, and they canceled it after 2 episodes,
Yeah, 2
I believe.
episodes is a wrap.
Yeah, good for that bitch.
Portlandia. Ever?
Portlandia.
The guy from Saturday Night Live.
It's a comedy or something, and it's about this weird town.
Season 8 is a wrap.
Oh, man, I should have got into that.
Blunt Talk.
That's on Showtime.
Stars with Sir Patrick Stewart. He was a talk show host and radio show host.
What's the guy named from Star Trek? Dr. Spock or whatever.
No. Patrick Stewart. The guy from Star Trek Next Generation. He played, I forget what his...
That's not
captain
Spock.
name. No, Spock on the movie or on
Star Trek.
No,
this guy from
Leonard Nimoy, he dead.
The guy from Star Show. That's not the guy from Star Trek.
No, that's Sir Patrick's. It's Star Trek: The Next Generation, the one that Whoopi Goldberg was on, and he's from that Star Trek.
But it's the Star Trek TV show, right?
Yeah, Next Generation.
Okay, you got me thinking I'm bugging. I'm like,
Yeah, but it's called Star Trek Next Generation.
I ain't no fucking nerd now.
Okay, sorry.
I don't know the name, but I knew it was in Blunt Talk because they had this.
It was like a half-hour comedy.
Yeah, they had the black guy. What was his name?
The one from the Steve Harvey movie.
Yes, he was on there.
Yeah.
All right, but I won't miss that shit.
No, you won't miss that. Salem. Did you ever watch that on WGN? It was about the Salem witches and...
No.
Okay, season 3, that's a wrap. Murder in the First with...
Tay Diggs.
Yeah, that's got
canceled.
that
was my show.
That got canceled. Sorry.
Oh, no, that was my show. Because it would come on in the off season.
Yeah.
So, oh, man.
I don't know if they're going to get... If they have a season coming out and then it's done, but... Whatever is in the can now is it. It's not coming back. It wasn't
that type of show where you needed closure because every season closed.
Right.
Everything was wrapped case. Up. Yeah, okay. So it should be okay.
Halt and Catch Fire on FX.
Yeah, never heard of that.
Okay, yeah, I never watched it really. The Strain. Now that was one show I watched. About the vampires and the worms and got canceled. Sorry, Mr. Engineer.
They last season.
No, well, we're gonna get season 4.
That's the last season.
And then that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the last season.
It's not coming back.
The book is still out. That's the end anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, see, they made it seem like they got canceled for bad reasons.
No, I never heard of that one.
They're gonna make something up.
Bloodline, Netflix show.
No, I never heard of it.
Never heard of it with the brothers, and the brothers were doing. One of the brothers was Cain killed Abel. It was. Never saw it. It was pretty good. Also on Netflix, Marco Polo.
Oh, my husband watches that.
Done. And Feed the Beast.
No, I've never heard of that shit.
They got one season on FX with the guy from Friends, Schwimmer from Friends. Yeah. Mistresses. I thought this was your show.
Yes. But not the... Okay, so that was my show, but the UK version. I wasn't a fan of the ABC version.
Okay.
Because I hate when we get TV over here, we get TV shows over here, and we water them down so much.
Right.
The UK version was excellent.
Wasn't that the same thing with, what was that one, Football Wives or something? The UK had the version, and it was hot and steamy and crazy.
And then they brought it here.
And it was like so PG. It was ridiculous.
They water everything down.
There's only one show that the UK had that we made better, and that's Shameless.
Right.
Yeah,
I agree.
Shameless.
I agree.
Well, I think that we benefited from making Shameless so far after they did because we were able to see what they didn't like over there. Mm-hmm. And the one thing they really didn't like was Fiona and the other guy leaving the show so early.
Right.
And we were able to keep them in and keep the show about that family.
that family.
So I guess, listen, we just need some time and then we could get the
and then we could get it right. I think this one's going to hurt your heart, though.
What?
Pretty Little Liars. Isn't that your show?
I used to watch Pretty Little Liars,
you
but
don't
I've
watch
been
it anymore.
out. No, because I was like, listen, I don't got all my fucking life to find out who the fuck A is. Tell me or leave me the fuck alone. But my daughter does watch it.
You don't know who she is?
Oh, I can't remember now. I forgot. It's been so many years. I binged it.
Right.
But this got to be...
So this is season 7. That's going to be the end.
Because they have real seasons, not like the seasons we're used to now.
Right.
Where you get summer season, spring season, winter season. They have like once a year.
Yeah.
Like Game of Thrones, Walking Dead. That's all they have. So it's been so long. But I was like, fuck y'all. I'm over it. But my daughter watches it.
It was some other shows on the list, but these were the ones that the names kind of stuck out. And I was like, oh, I've heard of that. Oh, I've heard of that too. So... if you watch any of those shows, they're not coming back. But there is one good thing. So we know American Crime Story is coming back. Mm-hmm. And they're going to do the Gianni Versace murder this year.
Oh,
that was so OJ, right. So he killed him right on the street in front of his house.
Stalker. Yeah, that was bad.
And now the other renewal that kind of surprised me, Rob and China. Why are we getting this?
I thought they got canceled. No,
I thought they were broken up. So how is it even second season?
Let me tell you, to be 100, them motherfuckers were never together. Honestly,
well,
she like, let me have this baby, get my $5 million.
I don't know, but so I hope you don't watch any of those shows that
I
I
didn't
mentioned.
watch any. I won't miss any of those.
Well, then your TV schedule is pretty much still intact. Then.
All right, so let's get to this weekend TV. I guess we could start a little differently this week. I got at the top of my list American Crime.
Okay.
this week we were actually right with our prediction last week that and I thought it was Jimmy Smith. I'm not racist, I promise y'all I'm not. I don't think all Latinos look alike. I promise y'all I don't. But I don't know why the fuck I thought it was Jimmy.
I don't know either.
But his name is Benito Martinez. That's the actor. And his character name is Lewis, and he came to America to actually find his son.
Yes. And he can speak English.
Yes, he can speak
English. That was the shocker. Not even so much that we were right about this. I thought he would be just trying to finagle, not knowing much English. People would be able to pull the wool over his eyes. Saying, oh, he's saying this where they're not really saying that.
Well, I thought that's why he did it. I didn't think, it wasn't a shocker to me. Because again, we knew he was looking for something.
Right.
So I always figured he got to know some English. Yeah. But I thought that he did it purposely because I don't want anybody to think I'm too smart. I want them to talk around me. I mean, these fucking the art of war, these the tactics. You want them to sit there and talk and you be able to listen without them knowing you're listening. Yeah. So it wasn't a shocker to me. I didn't think so. What was a shocker to me was that now they're actually using white people, heroin addicts, as Mexicans, I guess.
I mean,
as immigrant labor now.
Well, this is the kid who played the son in the last season, the gay one that was. Yeah, so it totally took me by surprise. To me, he looks so different. And I mean, I know it's been a year or whatever, but he looks so older now. And I don't know if they are purposely making him look like the drugs are taking a toll. But yeah, but I'm still wondering about the connection between the guy on the ranch and him. Is there supposed to be a love connection?
No, it was clear. He picked them up and
remember the guy was telling him don't make no connections with these. These are your workers. You're not supposed to have any sort of preference. When the guy fell out in the grove and he was, you need to get up, blah, blah, blah. But then he gives him money for the drugs to get right. Well,
because the guy tells him, you got to keep him high. That they're the new, basically, slave labor. And so what? This is what he's on. He gets high, keep him high, so he can stay working and stay loyal to this and stay addicted to you.
I didn't get
so
that.
That's why he gave him some here's your drugs, get your shit together, and make sure you back out in the fields tomorrow.
Right.
I didn't take it as love. I took it as that this guy, because of course he had to come up this way also. Right. But being from Mexico or whatever, he was an immigrant. Yeah. And he was just caring. That's it. Just not anything. I just care about people. And the other guy's telling him, no, you can't care about these people. You need to see them for what they are. And I think he even says something like, white people are the new Mexicans or some shit like that he says.
I must have missed.
He calls them. Well,
my ADD must have kicked.
Not just white people. He made mention that they addicted to the pills and whatever.
Drug
and
addicts,
he said, I think maybe that's what he said. These drug addicted white people are the new Mexican or something like that. But I thought that shit was shocking to me.
Yeah, it was just funny watching the new overseers. We know, African American history. There were blacks on the plantation that governed the slaves that were there. Their labor, and they didn't get paid, but they got better rations, better things, and it's wow, this is still going on.
That's what I think is amazing.
It's just so shocking
that still goes on.
And then, but I wonder if you were to say that to them, don't you know this is a history? They would probably totally deny it and not see it as something that blacks did, something that has always gone on in slavery. It's so sad.
Shit, I don't think they could deny that. That shit is fact.
Well, but I don't know that they would see it as the same slaves trade as what we had in America in that time. I don't think they would see themselves on that same level as what black slave overseers were doing.
Making the choice to come.
Right.
Whereas opposed to us where we had no choice. We were brought here and then we had to adapt and do whatever. Where they're making the choice and then they're adapting to what's going on. But they're basically being treated as
Now, what
slaves.
did you think about the family covering up the fire, though?
Oh, my Walmart family, like I like to call them. That now. When I say this type of, you'll be amazed that this shit actually goes on in America.
Yeah.
And when she goes on to the computer, she like, why isn't there a story? 14 or 15 people died.
Yeah.
And they're happy
and
that it's not a story.
She's going to be the problem child because she's marrying into this family and she's going to be the rabble rouser of, so wait, you have these trailers with 20 people living in them. You bolt the windows and you're not letting their families know or anything that they died in a fire. You have no way of contacting anyone to let them know. And you're covering it up. And you're trying to make money. She's going to be a problem.
What was it with the chicken? Yeah, that, I don't know. I just was amazed that this goes on. But what was it with the chicken wire? He said that they put the chicken wire or
he put it on them that they do it to keep people from getting into the trailers when they're not there. But I don't know that I didn't necessarily believe that. I think they probably locked those doors at night when those people would go in there and go to bed, and that was their way of keeping them from escaping. I don't believe that they would do that because this is their community. They are all probably coming together over a campfire, pooling their resources just to get a decent meal.
Oh no, I can see them stealing from each other.
I don't know.
What the fuck? Oh, I definitely was stealing.
First of all, I don't see them leaving anything of value.
What could they have? Yeah, but
they probably have everything on them when they go out into that grove.
But some of them make money because
they only get paid Fridays. What do they do?
Yeah, well, that was the thing because when they were talking about it before, he was like, well, where's my money from the farm? And he's like, well, you don't get any yet because you got to pay all of these other debts. But some of them do get money because the one that gave the white guy the drugs, those two. But
they're the overseers.
Money. Yeah, so.
They're the ones that are not sleeping in those units. So they're locking them at night when everybody else goes in.
But I'm sure they sleep in something similar. I doubt they're getting treated that much better.
I mean, you may get a trailer with only 2 people in it instead of 20.
Maybe 15. Don't get carried away now.
Yeah.
But that one I'm interested in. We saw Regina King that she's trying to get pregnant by.
Is this her sister? That was weird. Yeah,
I don't know where they're going with that.
Yeah. Because it's like she knows the wife. Does the wife know their connection? And now he's going to propose to the wife about making a baby with her? Girl. That was strange.
What do you think happened to Lewis's son?
I think... Wait, which one's Lewis?
Benito, the one from...
I think we're going to find him in the sex trade. I think him and Regina King may have either crossed paths or they're going to. And that may be how the story intersects. I'm not sure, though. But that's my guess right now. Mm-hmm. But now what about our Shay? She's pregnant. Do you think she can even track who the father is?
Oh, my God, the girl in the thing. Let me tell you, and I don't know why I didn't write this down because I thought what she said was so important. When she goes into that home or whatever, and she says, they like, listen, it's 8 to a room and this and this and that, and she compares it to her life with her pen. Yeah. She said, well, with him, it was only 6 of us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God. Like, that you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
That really, because then she's like, well, maybe it wasn't that bad.
What was the difference?
Yeah, like maybe it
wasn't
wasn't
that bad. You're still forcing me to do things I don't want to do because you're telling me I got to go to chapel. You're telling me I got to do these things. Like, they see it as doing something for her own good, but that was what the pimp thought too. He was taking her off the streets. He was giving her a place to stay. He was feeding her. How is she supposed to see a difference between the two of these entities in her life controlling her?
Yeah, I think. Oh wait, did they arrest her pimp? No, they arrested the John.
Right.
So maybe the baby will be the link to them getting the pimp because if it's his baby and the DNA, they don't need her to do anything.
Right.
So that would just be.
But then wouldn't they just be charging him with statutory rape? He wouldn't be charged necessarily with prostitution.
Well, I think if they got him, wouldn't they get the other kids that he has and all the other stuff?
Maybe.
I don't know. But I thought that part where she compares that life in that home to being with her parents.
It was sad. Sad.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my, I guess, and after a while, I'm sure she began to normalize what she was doing and what was going on in her life.
Yeah.
In order to adapt and be able to get on with her days.
And not fall into the pit. But it's like...
That was really... But I don't know where that's going to go. I'll be watching tonight. I'm definitely going to be watching that. Yeah. That's like must-see TV now. So what do you have up next?
You want to go Shots Fired? Because I really enjoyed that.
I have that, yeah. I watched
that was your pick?
Yes. Because it had Mac Wild as Sanaa Lathan.
Yes. I didn't realize her partner, though. He's well known, too. He was in Race. He played Jackie Owens.
No, I didn't know who he was.
Is it Jackie Owens? Did I say that? The one who raced in Germany, the Olympics, in front of Hitler. Who was that? Okay, anyway,
I don't know.
He played in Race. That was his big movie that he was the lead in, and he actually ran.
And he is sexy.
He is. Ooh, girl, that chocolate when he was sitting on the side of the bed.
Yes, God. But so then we have the reverse here. Instead of the black unarmed victim being shot by police, we have a white
Jesse Owens.
Jesse Owens. Oh, okay. We have a white guy being shot by the police, and then we see the mother, who is my girl, Jill Hennessy from Law and Order.
Yep.
She's on there, and then we see how the community reacts to this.
The genius of this show is the fact that the victim is white. That is just the genius of it, because I think it makes everyone who has ever said, if they would have just done what the police said, they wouldn't, to these unarmed black teenagers. I think it just holds up the mirror to, are you saying the exact same thing? Is that your exact same rationale?
When it's a
white victim and a black cop. Are you using that same excuse? And the answer's going to be no. I'm sorry. That's just my feelings. The answer's going to be no. You're going to think the black cop did something wrong, which is how the episode closes. You think he has these already preconceived
because I was about to say, they show a video of him when he passed the academy, and he say, now I can shoot crackers legally.
Yes.
So,
to me, I mean, this show is just, it just put everything into a whole nother avenue, because when you see unarmed black teenagers or older, not necessarily teenagers, being shot, do we get a graduation photo? Do we get a nice photo? What do we get? A mugshot. He's a victim. He's dead, but you're showing me a mugshot. It made me think of even the guy who got killed in New York this week, stabbed by the man from Baltimore. The opening article said, oh, he was a 11-time convicted felon. He's dead, stabbed, doing nothing, but you're still making him the wrong party.
As opposed to being...
Yeah, so Shots Fired is just holding up that mirror, and I love it. And it's got a little trap music. I love the soundtrack, too.
Well, what did you think about... I think I had about them choosing this black prosecutor and him being a willing participant in being their pawn, because they actually, I mean, when they bring him in, they say, listen, we vetted all of you, you're all on law review, we all this and that, and basically telling him, listen, we need a black person.
Yeah.
We went through all the black people we could find here, and y'all all are basically at the top,
right?
Which I hated also. And now we're gonna choose you,
right?
And he wants this. I mean, I guess we saw that he's going to try to make it where he's going to do the right thing. He's going to seek justice and not consider them as race. Consider their race or anything like that. But he accepted the position knowing we're using you as a pawn.
Right.
And like I talked about with somebody else, is that in the prosecutor's office, at some point, you could go this way, find everything, and think like, listen, we shouldn't go after this guy. We should let him off or whatever. And if your boss come down and say, no, we want him on trial, and that's what it is.
But I think it's one of those things where no matter which way the case goes, he's going to be seen as the problem. He either didn't do it well enough, or he did it too well and got a murderer off. You know what I'm saying? So no matter who had got picked, I think it was not a win-win. If you're going to accept it and you're going to say, okay, I'll be your pawn, you have to maybe do it to your own
advantage.
Yeah, like work it to your own advantage, and maybe have people see that you are going to be impartial totally, or like, yeah, I'm going to get this brother off, or, you know what I mean? Like, however I don't know if you have to bring your personal into it to make it better, but I think he knew it was a lose situation either way. He wasn't going to come out smelling like roses. Because after the speech, he had the mayor and the police chief mad at him. And then he goes and tries to, befriend the little hood boy, and they jump him. So it's like everybody's going to see you as the Uncle Tom, technically.
Well, and that was another thing. When he went to the hood and he talks to the guys and he tries to relate to them because his brother is a football player,
right?
And they beat him up, and it's like that they see him as being a cop and trying to convict the black guy,
right? And
without hearing him out or anything. And then but what he uncovers, the kid tells him, you need to go talk to such and such. You're looking in the wrong direction. And she tells him about another situation
with her son.
Yes. Yeah. And so then he starts to go in that direction.
Right.
But then he gets jumped.
Which was so ironic to me that the kid points him in this direction and then still is like, yeah, but we don't trust you. Bam, bam, bam. But we're going to give you some clues. And then I don't even know that they are for Mac Wild's character, because they seem to see him as an Uncle Tom cop too. So it's not even like, oh no, we going to help you not. We here for Mac Wild's. They not here for the white boy either, though. The white victim.
The thing is that in that community, and especially with minorities, there's just a certain distrust for police. Anyway, period. We just don't trust you. We don't want you in our neighborhood because of what you do. And I took it as that. But then we see a car chasing the black kid who told him where to go at the end. And who do you think is in the car? I was supposed to rewatch this last night because it's so many different theories.
I'm not really sure that it's a white. I'm not really too sure it's white people. I'm thinking they thought he was going to help the cop. They was mad at him for giving the cop the info and pointing him in a direction. So if it is a kind of thing they're trying to beat him up, I would be surprised, because I'm like, where did these white racists get the information that he was the one talking to the cop? There was no, you know what I mean? Did the cops tell them? Now that could be the other option, that it was cops chasing him because he was pointing this guy in the direction of stuff going on in the department. You know, because there was a cop car at the end of the road just sitting watching Sinai and the prosecutor talk to these kids.
So I was about to say the other theory is that it's white cops chasing him, and I'm not convinced that it's white cops. Yeah. And then one other aspect we saw in the show was we saw the prosecutor's brother, who happens to be a big football player,
right?
And apparently the prosecutor was actually a baseball player, and they thought that he was going to be the one who made it. Yeah. And he says
it's a little sibling rivalry between these two. And I mean, he's shading him for being smart, and he's shading him for being, a dumb athlete or jock. Do you think he was really mad too that then Sinai went home with the brother?
I don't know if he was mad, but I guess what I took from it, even when they had that discussion at the table, is that I'm doing something that's important. I made a decision to forgo all of that and to help out my community and try to make a difference in the justice or whatever. And you mother effer, all you do, you run the football, you do whatever, you don't give a fuck about anybody, and then she goes home with you.
Right.
And he's like,
even though he tells her she's not his type.
Yeah, she like, and you don't matter to him.
Right.
Like, I guess it's that frustration again of that.
Him always winning, maybe. Like, kind of, it seemed like the brother was always the preferred one, though. Like, even though the younger brother.
And the fame.
Right. Even though the younger brother played sports and, is up and coming in a prosecutor and stuff, I'm sure he maybe has that, I can't win in our parents' eyes. It seems like there was something going on in that family where maybe the brother with the athletic prowess of football was preferred.
Well, I think that basically it seemed like he was preferred, or he was the one because he makes the money, he's famous.
Right.
And like even a brother says to him, like, you were the one with the billion. They said you had $1 billion arm, but look, mama live in the house I bought her, and this and that. So to say like, you may have been more talented than me in athletics and everything. You probably would have been $1 billion, made $1 billion. But so what? You didn't. I'm doing it.
Right.
And now, so it could go. I think it's going a little both ways. That the brother is jealous of him in a certain way for foregoing that and for doing what he believed in. Where now the brother is basically, he's this football player, he's making a ton of money, he has the fame, but you're doing a lot of what other people want you to do. And what other people expect of you, as opposed to what you want. So I would love to see how that plays out, because that's something that's big in our community. Everybody going to NFL or the NBA, and then how the other people who actually just live their dreams, work regular jobs, or become prosecutors are treated and viewed in our community. But yeah, I'm definitely here for shots fired.
Before we go though, we have to talk about Sanaa. Did you? I was not prepared for her to be this butch and this, like, I wasn't prepared for that. I guess I always see her as the good girl. Like, she usually plays these good girl characters. And I was like, wait, you throwing vases at bitches and you slutting out in the back of the limo? Like, I was not prepared at all for her with that in this character.
Oh, that wasn't really what shocked me. That wig she had on was bothering me all mother effing night. I was like, come on, y'all could not find this girl a better wig. A better fucking wig. Like, I just could not take it. I think certain parts of it was the show like that, she's like one of the guys, and how she's conformed to that. What's the name? But she's also soft, because when she's with her daughter, she wants to play and everything. And when she went off on that lady, I'm like, yeah, bitch, like.
No, that was another thing I was shocked at, because at first, and maybe I guess this is just me with my presumptions, I thought they were lesbians and this was their child when the woman first came in the room. So then when this man appeared, I was like, who is that? Wait, you had sex with this man? Really? I really thought, and then that made me even more mad, because I'm like, wait, this bitch ain't even like a mother. She the stepmother, and she telling you that you gotta send your child to bed because you ain't gonna be. She needed that vase thrown at her head, because you need to know your role, ho.
I think that, oh yes, I was definitely, when she said, you yelling at my child again, I'm like, exactly. Like, what the fuck? But now they won't even let the kid talk to her, and I want to see how that plays out, because she asked the lawyer, like, listen, I need some advice.
Apparently they served her with custody full custody, and not maybe no visitation or supervised. We don't know, but it was something that really upset her, and they served her with.
Shit, so. The fact that when I go to FaceTime my child and she doesn't pick up, that would have been number one.
But obviously, she's always had these anger issues. He's accusing her of. He said, you know, you were going to get help last year. We've been dealing with this. Now, is this something? What I would like to see if the show explores, I guess, is if this is something that just popped up, something that happened to her in the last year that changed.
I don't know. We're going to see that. I know that the writers and Hollywood and everything, they're really going into the step parent roles, and more specifically with fathers getting custody, being a primary parent of primary residence, and all of those other things. It's on this one, it's on The Affair, it's on other shows we've been watching, and I mean, it's interesting because I don't have any insight into that life, and I like to see how that plays out and how that happens. We also seeing it now on Big Little Lies, which I guess would be a perfect segue into that.
Hey, girl.
Big Little Lie, I know.
I love it.
I don't care what happens with the show. When Emmy time comes, I'm checking all of the boxes for you on my little ballot that I keep at my house. But, I mean, it'll be important to me. I don't know if it'll do anything for y'all, but Big Little Lies. Okay.
So what stuck out with you the most in this episode?
One thing, we seeing more violence with Perry.
Definitely escalating.
And Celeste. And she's going to get help from the therapist.
I don't know that she's going to continue, though.
Getting your help?
You didn't. Maybe I was wrong. After that and she went and grabbed the kids and stuff, I'm thinking, oh shit, she about to run. Mm-hmm. And you go and meet him at the airport and have this loving reunion, making out in the middle of the... I don't know. I was like, I don't know that the psychologist made any dent in her armor as far as him.
Because then on this episode, we also see her going more and more into putting on more makeup, covering up more bruises, and that is starting to seem like it's getting out of control. Now, as far as that, I think that it's an image that she wants to portray. That we're this perfect family and that everything is great and that she's trying to hold it together. And then when she speaks to the therapist and the therapist is basically like, this shit ain't right.
Yeah. And
you need to get help. Like,
when she asked her, have you ever felt like you were going to die?
And then they showed the scene. Yeah.
I said, that should have been your cue right there, that this is not normal. Your normal is not normal. Because
I was just like, yeah, this shit getting out of hand. It was just getting more and more. And then as far as with the kids, I guess that's her thing also. Like, it doesn't have an effect on the kids. We live
that
this
we've seen yet.
I know. Because we never found out what happened to the fucking hippo leg. I mean,
Hippo just losing all kinds of body parts. So I'm not sure that... I'm thinking one of her kids is the one that's beating up on poor Amabella. And this is where it's going to come out. Don't say nothing. Don't make a face even.
I know, but I had to make the face because I was so proud. But
you can't. You can't. But this is where I'm thinking they're trying to tell, like, you have this conception that, oh no, they're not seeing it. They have no idea that any of this is going on. And in real life, behind their pre-K 5-year-old doors, they fighting bitches too.
And I think and that's another thing about the show, because the show has the ability to put together all of these different parts at the same time, as opposed to when you're reading a book, you're reading chapter by chapter and you're trying to piece it together.
Right.
Is that on the show, you can see the different aspects playing out at the same exact time.
Right.
So you can come to different conclusions earlier on and then you would have.
It's like a reverse octopus kind of, like you see all these legs, but you don't see the head yet. Like all these things are coming in to intersect. Doing an
excellent job on this show.
Now I'm gonna tell you the other part of this show that is, I don't know, it just evokes so much emotion is the music. I don't know who picked out these songs and this music.
What is her Chloe plays?
They need to be, now that's a nomination that I can get behind, because that closing song, I was just sitting there. And
what was it? Get the oh my God. It was like an angry song though, right? And she was young. Oh my God, yes.
But it was just all through it. Just every song. When they were in the car and Reese Witherspoon had the accident, it was just like the song that was on the radio. And when they were, and the car comes flying in, and it was just like, I just couldn't take it.
And then how
so
weird was
much.
that she gets in a car accident with the guy
so
she cheated on.
Oh.
Her husband with, and that, oh my God. I'm like, what is going on? What is going on?
And she's
so then her husband did her husband know she cheated with this guy, and that's something they dealt with, or no?
I don't get that they know.
Okay.
I don't get that he knows. Now I'm thinking his wife may know now.
Because suspects, right? Why
were y'all in the car? Because when Reese Witherspoon came trotting through the hospital, she gave her the look of death. Like, if I could sling one of these heart machines at you and knock your ass over, I would.
I mean, I can't say it enough. Whoever did this casting,
bravo,
you need an award, because when I read this book, I pictured her.
These people, right. These people.
Especially Reese's character.
Right.
I mean, they couldn't have done a better job. Oh my God. What else? We saw,
so what
I
about
think his name was Nathan, Reese's ex-husband, Reese Witherspoon ex-husband, and Bonnie, they're struggling now with the teenage daughter.
Right.
And I want to see how that played, because this again, what we're talking about with the step parents and other parents, and they thought, oh, well, we'll do a better job, bring her here, she doesn't want to be with you.
I don't think they'll ever admit it, though. Not to Reese Witherspoon. It would have to be a thing of something happens and Reese Witherspoon gets called instead of them, and she finds out. they would never tell her that they're having these issues.
Oh my God, because they're going to have a dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if any of this is going to come out. Oh my God. And then when Reese's new husband, what is his name? He goes to Bonnie yoga class or whatever.
That was weird. Now, he seemed really creepazoid then.
Really?
I never got creepazoid from him. But when she walks out and he said, "Oh, I love when women sweaty, glistening," I'm like, ugh. And even she looked at him like, "What the fuck did you just say to me?" So that was where he creeped me out. And then even walking out, like, it was, did he not want to be seen looking at the woman's body? Because it was like he got by her and he was like, "Oh, I got to scratch my nose and look back and watch that ass walk away." It was like, oh, you're creepy.
He's not creepy. He's a fucking man. You see ass.
But your wife, it's different if you're trying to look at ass when your wife is there. Nobody was there walking out the hallway with you. You was alone.
So wait, you would only want to see ass when your wife around.
No,
but
I'm
when
saying,
your wife
do you have to hide your looking if it's just you?
Oh,
if you walking down the street and you want to look. But if you're walking with your husband and you want to look, you got to be like, "Oh, I dropped my pocketbook," and take a glance back. If it's just you,
no, I think I would hide the other way. No, I wouldn't want to do that because I wouldn't want them to know that I'm looking. Because then you get caught looking, and they like, "Well, you looking at me?" You like, "No, I dropped something. I wasn't looking at you. You ain't all of that."
I wouldn't think a man would hide it if it's just them walking down the street. You know what I mean? It wasn't even a street. He was in a hallway with just him and this other girl. And you got to be so obvious that you're trying not to be obvious about looking back.
What I thought was more interesting was that whether or not him and Bonnie are going to develop some type of relationship.
Right.
Because like we see, and we keep saying Reese Witherspoon's character, Madeline, that she's always busy with everybody business,
everybody
but her
else's,
own.
right.
And that Bonnie is this, apparently she got some type of aura that attracts people to her.
Right.
And I wanted to see like if that's going to be something where they develop a relationship.
Could be. I could
like to see how that would go.
Yeah. So what do you think about this rapist thing? She confronts the guy that Madeline puts her on the trail of.
But it's not him. Because when she does that weird thing where she smells him.
And she's so... I didn't know if it was supposed to be like they were trying to tell us like from the marijuana or something. Why was her face so like red? Like she was so like, was that supposed to be her anxiety or from being in the room?
Because she was white and that she was, that isn't that what white people do when they do?
I don't know. They just made her seem like so on edge. And then her face was so flush with blood. Like, I don't know if that was supposed to be the
anger.
Yeah, like the anger or the anxiety they were trying to portray, that she thought this was the guy. And then when he turns around and she's like, "This isn't him," and runs out.
Does that weird thing where she smells him and she's like...
He said, "Wait, what? This is not appropriate."
Oh, my God.
And of course now I guess she's going to get a DUI or something.
Oh, because when she
smoked the blunt going down there. And then when she got stopped by the cops speeding, coming from it.
I think that was going to get her out of that. I think Madeline's going to get her.
Nicole Kidman.
Oh, and then that would be good because then it'll tie back into her becoming.
And then he going to be angry.
Oh, Perry going to whoop her ass. He's like, "Bitch, you better take that blouse off."
Now the only problem is these husbands. Any of them could be the rapist to me now, because I'm gonna tell you who else is looking real crooked. Renata's husband. When they met at the school, I felt like, damn, that could be the rapist. The silhouette, and when he came in and he was so like, "Oh, it's okay. Well," like he recognized her even though she didn't recognize him. I'm giving Renata's husband the crooked eye right now.
I think that again, this is what's so good about this show. Is because when you read the book, you don't have the opportunity to get these visuals,
right,
and see this one and how they interact with that one, and get it, because to even get there, that maybe is one of the husbands, you would have gotten see, right. Yeah, that's something you would have to see her interacting with different people.
It invokes it. It's like, oh, yeah,
exactly, and even the way that I took it, and I guess it wasn't true, that when Reese found the picture of the guy on the internet that she eventually goes see, and how Nicole Kidman's
her reaction, right?
How she sat back and she was just like looking like, I thought she knew the guy. Mm-hmm. And because, I mean, I guess it's not a spoiler now because she met the guy and it didn't go that way.
Right.
But on the actual, in the book, that the guy that Reese puts her on the trail to is related to Celeste by some way. I won't say how.
Right.
It's related. So when they find her, they like, well, maybe it's not him, this and that. And she tells Celeste, like, isn't this somebody? And then they present it to her. And she's well, that's his name, but I don't, that's not him or whatever.
Yeah.
And the fact that she said, so I thought that's what was going to play out here because you saw she just sat back and she was looking like kind of concerned, but wasn't saying anything.
And it could still come out where she'll say that to her, or
like,
at least say it to Perry, like, or probably to Shailene Woodley's character, like, well, I didn't think it was him because he is my distant third relative removed, but I didn't want to try to influence how you felt or, you know, you coming to that conclusion on your own, because anything, plus he's gay, which is where I think that's going to go.
Oh my God.
He gave me such gay when she walked into the office, and I was like, oh,
and
no,
he was an interior decorator.
It can't be him. He's gay.
I mean, it was a lot that tried to push you towards that way.
Right.
I mean, not that all interior decorators
we don't have to give a disclaimer for everything. That's not what we say.
But you know, it helps.
It helps.
To get that vision.
I just think whoever the actor was, he played it as if, and your character's gay, but she doesn't know that. She's just been put on this trail.
Was really,
you know?
Oh, this was good.
Yeah. Every week, this show
is just getting better and better.
Every week, this show is just giving you so much fodder for your meal of grist to just...
The only thing, let me tell you, the only thing that I hate about the show is that I know that at the end of this season, because I'm suspecting that they're going to have like maybe 10 to 13 episodes, so they're going to wrap it up. The whole... And it's going to be over.
Yeah.
We're going to be sad.
And it's not even like a Walking Dead where you come back and you got 8 more. It's just like, no, this is all you get.
So me going to be sad about that. Yeah. All right. But, so that's Big Little Lies. What's your next show that you want to get into?
Did you watch 24?
No, I haven't. Oh, my God.
See, this is what I've been waiting for. This is the episode I've been waiting for.
Wait, what happened in this episode? Because I gotta catch up. I'm just
we got the hood CTU in effect. They was activated. The thugs came through. Yes, and this is what I've been waiting for.
So did they find the guy and the girl?
They found the guy and the girl, and Corey Hawkins.
What's his name on this damn show? Bennett. I don't know.
I can't remember. But. Yes, they. He comes in with CTU, bringing them, and CTU follows him rather because he and the computer guy go trying to take the thing and do their whole little intervention. Well, Isaac and the wife escape, and Isaac and she's like, "You can't just leave your brother. That's your brother." He called up them boys, and they come through with them choppers.
Oh my God!
And
we call them Dracos now.
Dracos. Okay, I'm a woman of a certain age, so I remember choppers.
They went for choppers, the yappers, the Dracos.
So you get them fighting the terrorists, and it's like yes, and then the real CTU come in and they just cleaning up the mess because them boys that came through.
Oh my God! Now I gotta watch it. I can't believe.
And we met the guy who we thought was the main terrorist. We actually met who he's working for. Now the name of who Corey Hawkins' unit is accused of killing, the whole reason, it escapes me, but I have to do my research and check if this is who they're accused of killing, and this is how, you know, he wanted all these guys who tried to take him out. I have to revisit part of the episode with that because I had to go far back to remember if this is who their unit is accused of killing. They didn't talk about it in this last episode.
Well, the only thing, my only problem with the show is that it gave me such anxiety because it's like, oh, this is 1 hour, and then I gotta wait a whole fucking week,
and then you count down. They count down.
Oh my God! But I'm gonna. So now I'm about like 2 or 3 episodes behind. So
okay,
I'm going to get them in. I'm gonna have 3 good hours of 24 Legacy.
It was good.
I was watching part of it, but I wasn't paying attention.
So I'm not sure if Corey Hawkins is going to be doing another season of this though, or if they're on hiatus now. Because during the show they had a commercial. He's going to be doing 6 Degrees of Separation
on Broadway.
Yeah,
because I was watching the show, but I got 52 kids, and so the kids, they yelling, they talking. I couldn't pay attention. Yeah. But I was watching the show.
So I don't know if they've already wrapped for this season and he's just doing this stuff in his off season or whatever. Because it's it's a limited run. It's not like ongoing for however many years, but
you gotta strike
it'll be interesting to see. Hot. I mean, is he gonna be an EGOT? Because he is trying to hit all the categories.
Oh shit, he almost there. Yeah. Well, he didn't get nominated for Compton, so he got to try again.
Right. He would have to do another movie, but
then just write a book.
Maybe start with a Tony. He could get the Emmy.
He could write a book and just read the book, and then that'll get him his Grammy.
Hello.
Come on. See, he should hire us.
See.
All right, so what do you have?
The only other things that I wanted to talk about, I don't know if you watch Walking Dead.
Of course I did.
I'm tired of, I touched on it last week, tired of these black people trying to sacrifice themselves for everybody. What the F? Again, 2 weeks in a row we get this bullshit.
This literally looked like old girl got a better job, or better offer, or she married some fucking rich basketball player. And she was like, can y'all please kill me off this week? It made no fucking sense.
Okay, well, she is going to be in the new Star Trek movie as Uhura, which is the famous black character that was in Star Trek. I'm assuming it's Uhura because that was the continuation. Anyway, fast forward. She's going to be a lead in a Star Trek. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking maybe she's going to get killed off, but I'm mad that it had to be like this.
That's what I'm saying, because it made no sense. I could see if they got in there and they were getting close to getting caught and it was something else and she died, that would be one thing. But I'm going to just run in here by myself and just pop this gun. And,
but then I'm going to tell you, no, go, live your life. This isn't for you. She the one who brought you in on this bullshit.
That's what I said. It was just so bad the way, and that's my only note for the whole show. But I just was like, it just came across like they could have killed her off.
They didn't have no other way to do it. Like, it was like, how are we going to do this?
Really quick.
Like, okay, first of all, I liked Abraham. We all liked Abraham. Abraham was not the fucking Denzel Washington of the apocalypse. Uh-huh. So why are you two still going back and forth with this? He loved me more. He loved you next. Blah, 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 blah. Now, the shit that was fucked up, and if it was me, I would have been mad as hell to snatch that damn necklace off her neck. When the necklace fell out of Sasha's jacket, and she was like, I made that for him. You like it? I was like, oh, fuck, that's cold. That's cold-blooded. It's cold-blooded, man.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, okay, Rosita, you got a little right to be a little shady right there. Yeah, that's fucked up.
Like, yeah, that was my
But I'm like, Abraham is not, even though it's the zombie apocalypse, there's plenty of dudes around. I'm sorry. Why are you, y'all should be having way more sex and you should not be hung up on these Abrahams. Sorry.
I didn't take it that it was because of that he killed Abraham. I thought it was everything in totality. So it was that the manner he killed Abraham and Glenn.
Right.
The fact that he got Rick acting like a little bitch.
Right.
The terror that he's coming across so powerful and all of this, and like to get us back to normal and to end all of this shit, we could just kill him.
Right.
And everything would be, we could take his guys.
Right. Right.
So I took it more as that not being so much about Abraham, it was just being everything. Right. And now he's posing a threat to Maggie, to her baby, to the other people, and it's like this one.
You got Maggie and whatchamacallit having to hide in the basement, to make sure. Now I did love the scene between Daryl and Maggie because I was wondering that too. Like, oh my God, she hasn't seen him since Glenn, and like, is she mad at him? Does she know like? Because Glenn was over, and Glenn would have been alive if he hadn't punched Negan and tried to see what was going on, and then
I was about to say the other thing with Greg and Jesus. I like that scene.
Okay. Did Jesus tell us he's gay?
No,
you didn't hear that when he said and such and boyfriends when he was talking to Maggie. You didn't hear it? Yeah, Jesus is. We don't know if they're gonna go away from comic book canon, but Jesus mentioned boyfriends. I don't know if he was referencing Maggie's boyfriends or his.
I don't know. I didn't.
You gotta rewatch that scene
I like
when they were in the
scene
trailer
where he was there with Greg.